Alright, it's Henry again, and over the years I've actually gotten several questions from people wanting to know how I disassemble my kits, because my usual uh, order of doing things is I'll snap the kit together and then take it apart and start the painting. And people are always asking me how I take the kits apart without breaking anything. I say, oh, I broke a peg, or oh, a small piece snapped in half. Well, this isn't really meant to be a tutorial per se, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take apart some of this Hainu Gundam and just show you how I do it. So don't really take this as the gospel truth or anything. This is just how I personally go about disassembling a kit. Now, there are part separators you can buy. I think Wave makes one, Mr. Hobby makes one. Just about every model kit company makes a part separator. I don't have one because I find them kind of pointless. My tool of choice is just a small flathead screwdriver. And this is what I've been using for years, and I find that it works perfectly fine. So, not to say that the part separators are bad, it's just I'm fine with my little screwdriver. Alright, now, some parts you don't even need a tool for. Some parts you can just pull right off like so. And then, after that, you will need something to pry the parts apart with. Now, I will say one thing, that the most important tool for disassembling a model kit isn't a physical tool per se, but rather patience. Patience is the most important thing, because you have to go slow and you have to be gentle when disassembling these kits. Polystyrene plastic isn't the strongest plastic in the world. So if you force it or try to make it bend or go in a way that it doesn't want to go, it's probably going to break. I hear all the time people saying, oh, I was taking my kit apart, and just usually it's because they're in too much of a hurry. They're trying to be fast, they're in too much of a hurry, and they're getting impatient, and when you do that, you're going to end up breaking pegs, you're going to end up snapping pieces in half. And I'm just using really small movements with the screwdriver. You notice that I'm not just putting it under the part and prying on it like that. No, that's going to break some parts. Just find a little gap just small enough for that flathead screwdriver to fit in, and just do a little side to side wiggling motion. Just a little bit of wiggle, and that's generally enough to get the part off. And this one I think just sort of comes off like so. Wow, this is a lot better now that the camera's in focus. Just gotta get it in there. Do a little wiggle. And it should come right off. Maybe. Might be because this front armor is still on. There we go. Do the same thing over here. Just get a little, find you a little tiny gap. Alright, camera, there we go. Just slide it right in there and then just carefully work it. Another good technique is to work one side of the part and then move and work the opposite side of the part and go back and forth. That's a good way to make sure that you're not stressing the pegs on one side of the part too much. Now, there is a tried and true method that a lot of more experienced modelers use, where they will take their nippers and, let's see, where's a good one? I guess that's about as good as any. And they will cut these pegs at an angle like so. And likewise, there's a smaller peg there. Cut it at an angle like that. So you're not cutting the peg completely off, you're just cutting it at an angle. And what that is supposed to do is, on that side, yeah. When you do snap it together, it's going to make it much, much easier to put those parts on and off. See, I don't even need the screwdriver now. I personally don't make a habit of that just because I don't find disassembling the kit without cutting the pegs too awfully difficult. Maybe if I find a part that I can tell is going to be a pain in the ass to get apart after it's snapped together, I may cut the pegs, but usually I don't bother. Some people, they cut the pegs on every single part on every single kit, and you know, more power to you. Do whatever works for you. Don't take my word for it. I think that one is just going to wiggle loose like so. Same thing on this side. Also, another handy thing to have is a hobby knife for if you get parts that are really, really tight together that you're not going to be able to fit in a small screwdriver. A hobby knife is going to work better, but make sure you are careful because that hobby knife being sharper than a screwdriver, you're going to have more of a chance of cutting, scratching, or otherwise messing up your kit. So I think this video has gone on long enough. 7 minutes seems, even that seems a bit too long for what is just a really, really simple video. But hopefully you guys get the gist of it. Again, this was just me showing how I disassemble my kits, and like I said earlier, the best thing to keep in mind is just be patient. Take it slow, be gentle with the kit, and disassembly should not be too much of a problem. If you're having trouble getting it apart, go back to the instruction manual. Look at how the part was put together, and that'll give you a really good idea of how to get it back apart. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.